All right, well, good afternoon. First and foremost, I would like the people of the affected area of Avoyelles Parish and those elsewhere around Louisiana who have been affected by Tropical Storm Arthur to know that we are doing everything we can at this current time to bring as much relief as we can. Unfortunately, in an area like Avoyelles Parish and what you all what you all experienced was one of those what we hope is one of those once in a lifetime events. The amount of rainfall was simply historic. And in fact, they're still calculating. They believe that that it probably will break a state record for the amount of waterfall in such a short period of time. May get to 30 inches or more. I know that we've got about 200 houses at this time that we know of that have been impacted. We have leaned in through GOSEP and through our faith-based organizations. We've got the Catholic bishops, the Family Research Council, the Red Cross, Tunica Biloxi is helping us as well. This is going to be a completely community effort, a neighborly effort. We were able to fly over many of the impacted areas. My hope is that we don't have many more structures that will flood before we're able to drain all of the water. We came here today, of course, I'm with Congressman Julia Letlow. This is her district. We've got Senator Heather Cloud, Representative Dow Desatel, the chairman of Finance, Glenn Womack, and Representative Mike Echols as well. I've got my my GOSEP director who will be working closely with FEMA on this disaster. I know that we've got the sheriff and the parish president as well, and then General Freelou. We had a great meeting. Our presence here is really to look, to listen, and to learn, and to make sure that we're getting the resources that people need. I will tell you that, and I'll let her speak on that a little bit more, but that on the way from the airport to here, Secretary of Homeland Security Mark Wayne Mullen actually called Congresswoman Letlow, and we had a great conversation with him. He is anticipating getting a declaration of emergency as soon as we can get the numbers that we need to him. He will be bringing that to the president's desk as soon as possible. However, to do that, we need some help from the public. There's a website that we need you to go to, which is la.damage. Damage. Let me go back to this. It is damage.la.gov. So again, if you have a home or a business or a farm that has been impacted by this event, we want you to go to damage.la.gov. Fill out the information there. The faster you can fill that information out, the quicker we can aggregate that data and make sure that it meets the federal threshold and then move it up the chain. I'll let Congresswoman Letlow speak to that process for just a second.
Sure. Thank you, Governor, and to the residents of Avoyelles Parish. We heart with you today, and most importantly, we stand ready to help you get through this, and you will. We are a resilient state and parish, and we stand ready to help you rebuild. And we have a wonderful working relationship with our partners, with Governor. Just like you said, I had a wonderful conversation with Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen. We are ready to get that disaster declaration up to the President's desk to sign. Again, we just need your support. We need you to go to damage.la.gov to report your damages. And that goes to my farmers too. I'm waiting on a call back from Secretary Brooke Rollins. She is all in support of helping our farmers recover. I know that there was a huge loss in Avoyelles Parish there as well. So the federal government stands ready to help. We want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to get everybody back up on their feet as quickly as possible. But I'm so grateful to all of the elected local officials for stepping up, everybody who is helping a neighbor right now in times of need. And please don't hesitate to reach out to my office. We stand ready to help serve and help everybody get back on their feet. Thank you so much, Governor.
Just a couple of quick points, and then we'll take some questions. We know that we've got a couple of shelters that are open. We encourage people to use those shelters as they are open. We've got MREs and pallets of water, other resources as well. We'll keep pouring those in as we get those requests from the parish. The other issue I would like to warn or caution the citizens out there. You are going to encounter more mosquitoes. So when the sun goes down, go in your house or find some shelter to get out of there. Take your pets out there as well. We are going to be working on trying to get some mosquito abatement assets up here. And the reason that I say that is I've flown over it, and normally y'all are high and dry, and I'm real wet where I live. And so I know something about those mosquitoes and standing water. But the more that standing water is around, the greater the danger is to having large infestations of mosquitoes. We will be working on that as quickly as possible. And so again, if you're experiencing unusual mosquito activity in the area, I again urge you to contact the parish so we can start to pinpoint that as we move these assets. The other thing I want to talk about real quick, because the press is here, is the unfortunate position we find ourselves in, and many of the homes that are out there don't have flood insurance. And they don't have flood insurance because Congress, quite frankly, just refuses to fix it. I want you to know that your Congresswoman has stood by you each and every one of those times that we've tried to fix that flood insurance. And I would urge the United States Senate to start to take some action and to take this seriously. Because since 2007, the people of Avoyelles Parish and many around Louisiana have dropped their flood insurance because the premiums have risen to a point where they can't afford it. And it's unfortunate today because now we're going to have to go right back to the federal government to help those same people who would be doing the right thing and would have that coverage. But this is a great example why it's time to start sending people to Washington who stand up to get things done and stop standing in the way of getting things done. I was talking to the Commissioner of Insurance this afternoon as we were going through the inventory, and I think only 800 policyholders in all of Avoyelles Parish, only 800 homes, are covered by flood insurance. And that is disappointing. And I'm not blaming the citizens out there because they can't afford it, because Washington refuses to fix this. And so again, I am hoping to have a very frank discussion with those members of Congress to fix this once and for all. With that, I'll take any questions that we might have. Y'all don't have any questions. That means we're doing good.
As these once-in-a-lifetime floods, as you call them, seem to be more prevalent in Louisiana, is the state doing anything long-term to combat changing weather like this?
Yeah, look, I think the most important point is that we have to start learning to go on the offense rather than the defense. One of the things that we've been doing since my term as governor began, and we just reorganized, if y'all remember, GOSEP over the last couple of years. We have been actively working to build a common operating picture that is virtual. So that in Baton Rouge at GOSEP, we've got a map. We started with it started under Hurricane Francine, and we started working more closely with the Water Institute and the Corps of Engineers to understand the modeling so that we can predict where that water is going to go, maybe before or right as it's going, to be able to push those resources. I will let you know that Louisiana's future flood fight is going to be driven by technology and stronger science. In fact, I want to give a shout out. I think General Mahfouz actually started purchasing, as this event occurred, satellite imagery every day now that we're able to plug in to say, okay, this is where the water's going. This is how we move this water out quicker and faster, so that when we have these types of events, we can mitigate the damage that is placed in today. So we are, I will tell you that we're better off than we were 3 years ago. Unfortunately for the folks in the Avoyelles Parish, we aren't there yet. But our hope is that if you unfortunately experience this type of rainfall again in the not so distant future, we'll be ready to be able to handle that kind of water.
Do you have any thoughts on the state police superintendent's retirement?
No, look, I can tell you, Colonel Hodges, as always, when him and I, when I asked him to serve, at a time when the state police was seeing probably some of his darkest days, he took up the call and said, look, at some point in time, I'm going to retire. And he's expressed his desire to retire in the fall, I think is when he's talking about leaving. He's got two beautiful daughters that are in college, and I can certainly appreciate wanting to spend more time with our family. I think that we look forward to transition. His chief of staff, Frank Besson, they've worked hand in hand, is going to take over when he departs. And so I think that it's going to be a smooth transition, and those things happen. And he's done an excellent job. I think that all of our cabinet secretaries have done an excellent job, DOTD, Conservation, GOSEP and the likes have done a great job in serving the citizens of this state.
What's the next steps when it comes to people here in Avoyelles Parish? What is something that you would tell them?
Yeah, again, I think that this is a great way to kind of wrap it up if we don't have any more questions. And it's wrapped up in this way. We really need the public's help right now. If you have been impacted by Tropical Storm Arthur, if your home has been flooded, if your business has been impacted, if your farm has been impacted, we really, really need you to go to damage.la.gov. Damage.la.gov. The more information you folks in the news media can do to help us get that website out. The good news is, in these kind of events, because we haven't had a whole lot of wind damage, we don't have a lot of people without power. And those that are, I know we're getting them on as quickly as we can if they can receive that power, and that's important as well. But communication's up, which means that people who have smartphones you can literally do it on your smartphone. You can go to damage.la.gov, get the information in there. That information goes directly to GOSEP. That gives us an opportunity to package it up and get it to FEMA right away so that it can get to the president's desk. Okay?
And was it just this parish that received the more of the damage, or did you guys see any other places around near this?
Well, certainly this parish has seemed to have the most flood damage. We've had some parishes down south, Terrebonne, Lafourche, Jefferson, St. Tammany, that have been impacted. And if those folks are watching as well, we'd urge them to go to damage.la.gov as well. We think that some of those parishes may meet that threshold as well. I feel pretty confident based upon what I saw from the air that we're going to meet the threshold here, and certainly with the help of Congresswoman Letlow and her relationship with Mark Wayne Mullen and the president, that's going to help us get there quicker.
When you were surveying, was there anything specific that stuck out to you?
Just the sheer amount of water, and the fact that water's moving a lot slower than I'd like it to move, and seeing the homes that have several feet of water was certainly impactful. And again, I'm concerned about the health and welfare after this. If that water stands around a long time, we want to make sure that we take care of our mosquito abatement as well. So,
I have one for Congresswoman Letlow, if you don't mind. Congresswoman, you mentioned, wanting to help out farmers. There's lots of flooded soybean fields and corn fields. This comes at a time when corn farmers have already replanted once, twice even so far. If there is disaster aid, that's going to be pennies on the dollar that they're going to have to spend back on exorbitant fertilizer and diesel fuel. What's being done to abate that right now?
Sure. Well, we have a long record of success of providing those disaster dollars to farmers in their times of need. And I'm going to go to the mat to fight for them again this time around. So it won't be any different. Again, go to damage.la.gov or go to the FSA office as well. Our farmers know what to do in times of need, and I'm going to be there for them to make sure that we see this all the way through.
and look, we saw the president has reached a deal where they're going to open the Straits of Hormuz. That should start to help diesel prices start to fall. And so our hope is that affordability will start to reach into the pockets of our citizens here as well. Okay, thank y'all so much.
Thank you.